take questions.
Okay.
Right, what was your initial reaction just to seeing the field? You think it's tougher than maybe you expected, maybe easier than you expected?
I think it's a very difficult regional, no question about it. I was on the phone yesterday and today with Coach Avin at NC State. We felt like we were definitely going to be in the same regional based on the way the rest of the country was shaking out. And then 10 minutes before the selection show, I was on the phone with Coach Hennon at Georgia Southern, congratulating him on winning the championship yesterday. Coach Esposito had worked for him for a couple of years, so we had him on the phone, not knowing that we were getting ready to play. So, and Stetson's a team that I think for a while there was talk that they could even play themselves into a national seed. They were a really, really good team, and it's a tough field. I gotta, with a quick look at the same thing you guys saw, I gotta think Georgia Southern is the best number 4 seed in the country, based on a quick look at the brackets. It's a tough regional.
You've had plenty of time now to break down each team. Do you think you'll start Michael Roth on Friday against Georgia Southern?
As I was coming in here, I said to Coach Myers, I said, are we ready to announce the starting pitcher? He said, that hasn't been determined. So we haven't determined the starting pitcher.
Do you still have any connection to the NC State program, and your thoughts on them possibly playing you guys this weekend?
Well, they were in a regional here a few years ago before we opened up Carolina Stadium. They were at Sarge Fry, and we never got to play that particular regional. But I stay in touch, with Coach Avin up there, and he keeps up with our program certainly. So, I don't know if we'll end up playing or not. They are in the regional, but sometimes you don't end up playing each other. But certainly, I follow them and I keep up with them.
What's the team's mindset after coming back from Hoover 1 and 2?
Well, their disappointment initially, the fact that you're coming home early from the tournament. We had a little conditioning weightlifting session on Saturday. We worked out pretty good yesterday. There was a little bit of chippiness, not quite as much today, this morning, and we'll be back on the field in about an hour. So we're just trying to get some work done and be ready to go come Friday.
You even look ahead to potentially the next round. You guys are matched up with the winner of the Clemson Regional. Coastal's up there as well. I'm sure that's going to be on a lot of people's minds that as the week goes on.
Absolutely not. We realize that we're matched up together, but I certainly think that they've got a couple of teams to contend with up there, and we've got a very difficult field. So we're concentrating right now on trying to figure out Georgia Southern, and a couple of guys with over 25 bags. Got a guy in the lineup wrote 30 home runs at Georgia Southern. I don't know if anybody else around the country has a guy with 30 home runs, so that's impressive.
Ray, what changes for you? What's your mindset? A sense of urgency. Obviously, you're not going to let the team get very far out of line. But what changes for you as a head coach in making coaching decisions this coming year?
Well, the good news for me is it doesn't change a lot. I've always had the mentality that let's win the next one, and that's where we are. We'll do our best to try to get in a position to win on Friday and go from there. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. You'll get into trouble if you do. So we're just going to focus on one game at a time. I know that's coach speak, but it's really the way it is. And you got to do your best to win, and then worry about the next one when you get to it.
What about the comfort level of being at home and knowing that if you take care of business here at home for the next 2 weeks, then you go back to Omaha?
Well, that's great. I mean, that's something that, as I told the players, you get rewarded. You get rewarded when you have a very good regular season. You have good RPI. You do what you're supposed to do in your conference. You get rewarded for that. And by being a host site now, national seed, that's a reward for the work that they put in. So that's great. We have a tremendous venue here and great fans, and they appreciate baseball. So we're glad to be here. And I know the other 3 teams coming in here looking forward to the opportunity to play at Carolina Stadium.
Usually you end up with like Citadel or Charleston in one of these regionals. certainly at Georgia Southern, not a team that you really see all the time. Is that a challenge for you and your coaching staff to prepare for them?
Well, I kind of like, there's been a couple of circumstances in regionals where you play teams you've already played. I like the atmosphere of NCAA baseball, playing people that you haven't played before. And that's the case for us this weekend. We got 3 other teams here that we did not play in the regular season. And I like that from that standpoint. I think that does give you the feel of postseason play. And you don't, nothing against when we played the Citadel or the college or whoever might have been sitting here in the past. I like playing different teams. So from that standpoint, it's a good regional.
You do have a pretty good sense, though, about Georgia Southern. 2 years ago, you had the 13-inning game, and the year before that, you had the 1-run game here in the rain. Traditionally, just a really good program.
Well, without a doubt. It was last year we were down there, right?
Yep.
Last year we were down there for the
extra inning.
for the 2:30 finish.
Right.
In Statesboro. And then the rain game the year before. Coach Hennon has done a tremendous job down at Georgia Southern. They're very good. They got hot at the right time. Beck, I think, threw 8 innings for them last Wednesday, threw a complete game yesterday to win the SoCon championship. I'm not going to get into the recruiting story, but the young man they got there, Roach, who's hit 30 home runs, is a great recruiting story, how they got him. Those things interest me, and we're friends, and we kind of keep up with each other, and certainly with Coach Espo being down there for a couple of years, we stay in touch with them, or he does, and we got great respect for how good they are and how they play. So it's a difficult regional, certainly. As I said, having looked at it yesterday, the day before a little bit, if they won it, which they hadn't won it at that point, they won it yesterday, I didn't think they'd been number 4, but that's what ended up happening.
Brady, update on Jackie and Adam Matthews.
Well, Jackie, he's out. He's just the good news is his future looks good. He's not going to have any effects going forward. It'll probably be a few more weeks before he can start doing baseball things again. But Brady, he bounced around a little bit better today, and then Adam, he continues to get better. But as I said yesterday, still not a go yet. So it's about the same.
Ray went through this a few years ago, playing NC State, bringing up your past and all that. Is it easy to keep, that kind of off the field? I mean, obviously you guys aren't definite to play them. Is it easy to keep the history part of it out of the matchup?
It really is for me. I grew up there. I was on that campus for 20 consecutive years from the time. It didn't take me that long to get a degree. It only took 10 years. But, I was an undergrad there. I went to graduate school there. I was assistant coach there. I was a head coach there. So until I came here 20 consecutive years. That being said, I've been here for 15 years. This is where my roots are and a place that I dearly love. And I have fond memories. I have great respect for NC State, Coach Avent and his program, and I follow him. But I'm wearing a different uniform now, so it's not difficult to separate it.
Questions for Coach Dan? All right, I'll go get a couple players.